Elementals is definitely a really slow deck, but for any deck, if you want to play faster, it's important to try to make decisions on your opponent's turns. Try to figure out how you're going to sequence your next turn, what you're going to do if your opponent does X, what you're going to do if your opponent does Y. Yikes. Guess we go to 5. Pretty good 5. Keep this, put back Kroxa, Terminate, then go Ragavan into Channeler, discard spell. You will connect. Ragavan, you're going to connect. Mono Black Luris is a creation from M. Hayashi. My version, my list is a little different, but yeah, I've seen Hayashi's version too. My list is pretty different. But there are some of the same cards, of course, because it's just like a budget. I don't know if Hayashi's is supposed to be budget or not, but mine is like intentionally budget. So we got a 2-for-1 to help with the mulligan situation. I can keep a monkey. Alright, their hand's kind of slow too. Although that shark does block the Ragavan kind of well. So I imagine my opponent's not going to cycle Typhoon, because the 1/1 Typhoon is going to be pretty good for next turn. And I would love to find a land to cast the Tourach for next turn. Oh, we can cast that. And they save the Typhoon. And it's Mistigate, Shark Typhoon, Mystery card. We found the land, awesome. And I'm gonna kind of sneaky. I'm gonna cast this pre-combat. If they counter this, then we get to attack with a Channeler for 1, which isn't huge. They should cycle in response if they're gonna cycle though. Yeah, because the cycle triggers the Typhoon, which a lot of people don't know. But Tourach is very, very strong in this matchup. I also think I should probably trade Channeler for Shark so that I can start to dash Ragavan. They discard Teferi, Time Raveler, and Spreading Sea, so their hand is Mistigate Mystery card. Obviously this trade feels really bad, but I think it's correct to make. Do you Solitude pitch Ragavan if you know you can answer it cleanly after it hits you 2 times? You need like a little bit more context than that before you can like completely make that decision, but I usually do Solitude Ragavan on turn 1. I don't know what 3 mana answer you have to Ragavan. If it's like Typhoon, I would just Solitude the Ragavan. They have Supreme Verdict that can deal with Tourach, or they can block with like a Shark token. But yeah, Pro White is so good against them. This matchup is really good for us. We did mulligan to 5 though, and you do lose when you mulligan to 5 sometimes. So they didn't find a verdict. They decide to draw 2, just digging for the verdict, it looks like. We know their hand is Mistigate, and there'll be 3 mystery cards after they draw for turn. Alright, still has the Mistigate. Gonna dash again. No Kihira, no Yorion. Are they on snaps? Maybe. I think you're probably supposed to infer that, yeah. Although some people just think that the Kihira is not as good as a 15th sideboard card, which I disagree with. So we get to put our opponent down to 3, which is pretty good. They play the Mistigate. That was the card we knew about. Let's see what they're drawing, I think. Island. This costs 6 to activate. Yeah, I'll just attack with the Tourach. There's like they have to have a Shark Typhoon exactly. Come on. Yeah. I agree. Pitching the Solitude like definitely makes it worth it. All right, I guess I'll play out the Ragavan and put Luris in my hand. I know that one of their cards is a land. Obviously, this like turns on Prismatic Ending, which is a bit awkward, but it's a bit more mana efficient to do it this way. They do have Hall of the Storm Giants up now. But what's also nice about this is I get to cast Lurrus, and if they counter it, then I get to attack with Ragavan. Another land, good for us. Forget how Legend works. If you had one Tourach out with some counters, can you kick a second one from your hand and have them discard 2? Keep your first Tourach to get bigger. Yes, you can. Alright, their hand is Flooded Strand, 2 mystery cards. Alright, Prismatic Ending, which does mean they can't haul the Storm Giants to block. Oh, we now know that their hand has nothing. Their top card is Counterspell, which I wouldn't be like super against them drawing. Obviously, I could just like draw Lightning Bolt. Okay, we know the last card. I guess I'll just double check that I managed this correctly. But 1 on the Mold of 5. I think this matchup is really, really good. I think it's better than Jund Saga's matchup against Blue-White, where like their Sagas are fine, but they get Spreading Seized really hard, and like you're more vulnerable to Verdict because you don't have Kroxa and didn't have the Bugbear. I should probably point out that I don't think that the percentages are like wildly different, but I do think this has a better matchup. I think this is my sideboard plan. 2 bolts, 3 heats, no terminate. Get a mulligan this. Keep this, put back the heat, and then I think I'll probably play Ragavan on turn 1 since it's just such a disaster if they play. Okay, now I'm definitely gonna play Ragavan on 1. Maybe I should have discard spell. I don't know. There's a lot of ins and outs to the case, but it's just like if they have Chalice, like and Prismatic Ending, they like basically always ending instead of cast the Chalice here. And so, like, a lot of times playing Ragavan on turn 1 delays the Chalice for a turn. But this hand is, like, more vulnerable to Chalice than most hands are. I guess I probably should have cast the Inquisition first, too. They have Sunset Revelry on top, so I'll definitely shock. And Inquisition. Keep that on top. They have 2 Fond Ravelers. It's pretty good. I'm going to save the Bauble, though. Strong hand over there. What do you think of 1 Claim Fame? I would never play a Claim Fame in this list over Unearth. Like, getting back Lurrus is just, like, so much better than the upside of casting Fame. I know surveilling into the graveyard for value is nice, but just, like, Unearth getting back Lurrus is just kind of a no-brainer. Fire was their choice this turn. So I want to Thoughtseize there to Fairy. And then I'm going to play Bloodstained Mire Bauble, and then they won't be able to cycle their Revelry because I only have 1 card in my hand. Well, I guess if they can use their last card, they can cycle it. But I don't really feel like Revelry's that good. I've seen the latest Mythic Blue Spirit. I did see that card. It is cool. It might be good, it might not be. I'll have to like really digest it a little bit more, I think, but I like it. Alright, see what our top card is. Keeping that one. Tourach just like crushes this matchup. Alright, they do get to kill it. Still get a strong 2-for-1 there. And we're definitely in the spot where like lands are good, spells are good. I think I'll play Voidwalker instead of putting Lurrus into my hand. This is one of the worst spells we could have drawn. But just like land lets us activate Din, or we could put Lurrus into our hand. We just have so many options. That was pretty good. You would have kicked it? You would have kicked the Tourach? I think I am supposed to cast Lurrus here. Just like if they have a counter spell, it obviously feels bad, but it feels a bit worse to like just let them use the Castle Vantress and let them smooth out their draws, you know. I think I'll go for. I think I'll just cast the Tourach. Maybe I should cast Bauble to not overcommit into Verdict. That's probably correct. And then I'll wait to use the Bauble till after they scry. 2 cards on top. The first one that they're drawing is Supreme Verdict, which is bad for us. But at least we didn't overcommit with the Lurrus. And then Kroxa is going to be very, very good. Because of the Spreading Seas, it is true that we can't escape. Oh, we can't because we have the Urborg. So if we draw a land, we do get to Kroxa next turn. It has to be untapped. It's not untapped, so I guess we'll play Kroxa first, get the last card out of their hand, then Ragavan. Slow lands in the same deck as fast lands seems sketch. We don't have slow lands in the deck. I don't know if you're responding to me or not. Last card was Fire Ice. Oh boy, we get to exile the Deluge. That's pretty good. Looking at budget, Black Lurrus deck that I find Voidwalker's exile effect worked against Enforcer's buff. I talk about it in the article if you read it, but it's like you have control over it. There is going to be tension there, but there's also synergy because the Enforcer is going to give you cards to cast with your Voidwalker, so you'll have to plan accordingly. That was pretty good. We do have Kolaghan's Command in the deck to deal with this, but that could win us the game. I shouldn't have been F6. I guess I should have cast Bolt in response. That was a mistake. I thought it was okay to F6. And they can block Kroxa with Hall, but I just get to replay the Kroxa. What do they top deck? Yeah, I know we saw Chalice game 1. It was a mistake. How many times do I have to say it? Yeah, let me attack with the Kroxa. They discard Elspeth, Sun's Nemesis. Interesting. Yeah, I know we can cast the 1-mana spells for Kroxa fodder. But it's also we have Kolaghan's. It's not like we're cold to Chalice. We have 3 Kolaghan's commands, so like keeping these in the hand for Kolaghan's command seems somewhat relevant, especially if they gain life with Elspeth. Looks like they're escaping. They have to make tokens. Let me just, I think, throw away the heat here. Kolaghan's Command's best draw. Got some other good ones. That qualifies. Definitely kicking this first so I can deal damage with the Tourach. Sorry, with the Kroxa trigger for sure. And then maybe they'll just cash in the Elspeth for 5 life and replay it. Is that good? Seems okay. But the Tourach being pro-white is going to be pretty dangerous for them too. No, you can't dash Ragavan through Chalice. Okay, they do gain the 5, up to 6. Did they draw Verdict? I don't know what they drew. Guess we'll find out. I get to attack. This Deluge, okay. So they can go human here, Hall here, but they're just gonna flash back the Deluge, okay. Put a spell in the yard for Kroxa. It's really interesting. Would have won this game if I wasn't F6, but we also have game 3 if they are able to pull out of this. So I need to cast at least 1 bolt to escape the Kroxa. See, it kind of feels like they drew a counterspell though. That they got counterspell, Supreme Verdict here. Probably just have to make them have it. Never finding Kolaghan's command either. Maybe cast Ragavan. I don't think it really matters too much at this point. I'll take like 1 more draw step. We have enough mana that we can cast the 1 mana spells kind of freely. Yeah, you cannot dash Ragavan through Chalice. So yeah, if we find Kolaghan's command exactly this turn, we could win. I think that it's probably not enough any turn following this one. I have 3 in the deck. Let's go! Let's freaking go. Xaxes. Whew. Excuse me. Alright, 6-0 on the day with red-black. Feels pretty good. I like this version too. I think the playing 3 Tourach, 3 Kroxas felt pretty good. 2 Voidwalker. If anybody knows a good place that to commission like nice trophies, yeah, someone offered, someone was a that they were a copper molder. They could maybe do something. I should maybe like reach out to them again or reach out to them. But from what I could tell, I wanted to spend, my budget's gonna be probably like $500 for one. I want it to be nice. Like I want it to mean something. I want people to like strive for it. Just buy a used one. No, I want it to be nice. I want it to be nice, but I don't know exactly the best way to go about it. I'll put you in tough with my trophy guy. Play against Hammer again. Yeah, people were suggesting wrestling belt. I feel like a trophy for the trophy leader though makes more sense to me. But a lot of people were into the belt idea. Could do one that adds small plaques so we could add winners every season. Yeah, people were suggesting that too. I think that would be fine. That being said, I think it kind of stinks because I want to ship whoever wins the trophy. I want to just give them the trophy and they can have it. It always stinks when you only get to hold on to it for a little while and then it leaves. Or if like I keep it, just put the name on it, it's less cool. Maybe I'll also get a plaque that I can keep just with the person's name, you know? Put it on the board or something. Oh, I have 2 Unholy Heats. So I don't need to cast this now. Oops. These are people who did trophies back at home, like $50. Yeah, I was on this website. It's honestly like, I want it to be like, I don't know. I want it to be really nice. I want to spend a lot of money on it. Because this is like, this is what I think I'm doing for the whole thing. So I want it to be like a really high-end trophy that looks really cool. I could also do like a cash prize, maybe. Or like do the gifted sub thing again. There's a lot of options. I'm still like weighing it. Yeah, but maybe cash prize plus the trophy itself is better. Yeah. I would want to do both. I wouldn't want to do just one or the other. If I was gonna do cash, I'd do both. But just like looking at it, it's like I feel like from what I could tell, all of like the really high-end trophies, the quality just doesn't really seem to be worth the price point. Don't do cash or anything money related. There are a ton of illegal things. Okay, that's good to know. Great to know. You get a cranial plating. Starbucks gift card. I guess we know their hand's just plating. I'll just terminate this. See if B makes cool trophies? Do they? I haven't been sitting in on many board meetings lately. On account of being bored at the meetings. Just kidding. Yeah, I'll look into it. I'll see if there's any problems with like the cash price thing. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, they can just cast the plating, right? I guess the draw step Kolaghan's command is not great against the Sigarda's Aid. CFB's sponsorship? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they could, but I kind of like it to be my own thing, you know. I think it has more stakes if I'm like putting the money in, you know what I mean? Just saying, instead of a cash CFB gift card. Yeah, that might be like more legal. Why not a ring? Or a bracelet like in poker, so when it played the tournament? I mean, I think I like the idea of it being a trophy because it's a trophy race, right? That's why I think it's neat to do a trophy. So I need to save the discard spell for Luris. There's top decking again. I think it's probably fun to play out the Tourach. A trophy made of smaller trophies. I was also thinking about like commission, like the winner gets the conspiracy board. It's like if I win the race, we have another season of conspiracy board, and if I lose, then somebody gets it. I have to make a new background. But I don't know if that's something people want. I was also thinking about auctioning this off for charity whenever I finally get done with it. I want to do something with it. Oh, dude, a new Kraken, Hullbreaker Horror. It's the Dark Souls. It's the Giant Dad pose. 7 mana, can't be countered whenever you cast a spell. Return a permanent you don't control. Turn null. Dude, this is a fixed. What's it called? What's the name? The Legacy Reanimator target. Yeah, the Uro pose. They're drawing a Sigarda's Aid, so I don't need to like shock to hold anything up. Attack with the Tourach. Yeah, Tide Spout. That card seems pretty good. If I played it with the idea of trophy NFTs, I'm staying as far away from NFTs and cryptos until the community can stop being so full of freaking scams and weirdos. And weirdos who are doing scams. I guess I'll Thoughtseize to grow the Tourach. Crypto's the future? Well, you gotta convince, like, you know, the community's gotta stop being so weird, you know what I mean? Because it really turns me off how sketchy so many things are with cryptocurrency and NFTs. There's just, like, there's so much corruption and, like, rug pulling, especially with streamers, too. You know what I mean? There's so many streamers who, like, promote, like, shitty cryptocurrencies and then, like, manipulate their audience into buying these cryptos and then just, like, making a quick buck off of it. And I really am not that interested in associating with that kind of culture in any way. Yeah, I'm familiar with CoffeeZilla. Obviously, not all cryptocurrency is shady or scammy, but I just do think like the whole there's a lot of shady stuff that does go on, and I just really not that interested in being a part of it. But also, like, I also think at the same time, you could do an NFT trophy, and an NFT trophy is so much lamer than a real trophy. With Peace and Love, I don't understand the appeal of NFTs. I saw that there was an NFT card game. I thought that was kind of cool. I thought that was kind of interesting. But like NFTs in general just don't make any sense to me. I'm not, trying to like belittle anybody's hobby or anything, but I just personally don't get the appeal. I just don't really get why these things are expensive. I think that you could tie them to some things and have them be cool, but just like there's like so many like crappy drawings that are so expensive and it just doesn't make any sense. The appeal of NFT is grifting the foolhardy. Yeah, that's the thing. It really feels like the appeal of NFT is getting rich quick. You know what I mean? And like the appeal of so many of these like NFT crypto startups, like so much of it, the appeal is just getting rich quickly. That's all there is, as far as I can tell, as an outsider looking in. And people they use like a lot of language and a lot of tactics to pretend like it's not just that. Getting rich quickly. I keep the Pyrite as an Alta Sanctifier. So I don't know. I also, it's important to say, I don't know anything about anything. I really am just not that educated of a person. I've got some opinions that I can share with you guys, but if you really, hate what I'm saying, take solace in the fact that I am just kind of a big dumb guy, you know what I mean? Glad I kept that Alpine Moon. So next we can go Alpine Moon, Thoughtseize, plus Bolts. Does this list want a white splash for ending at all? The white splash is really hard to do. You lose a lot of utility lands too. And I've also found like the explosives and the Pyrite Spellbomb solve a lot of the problems that this deck has. As opposed to where ending in Jeskai Murktide is important to solve, like, specifically... ending is important to solve the problem of Chalice of the Void and Rest in Peace. And, I guess Rest in Peace is still a problem for this deck, but, like, you're not as worried about Chalice because you have Kolaghan's Command. But you're worried about, like, Sanctifier, in fact. That's kind of, like, the big problem card for this deck. But you have, Spellbomb Explosives without making your mana a lot worse. But you could. It's not like it, I think you can splash for ending. I just think it's better not to. Alright, so they had a Saga, Luris, Plating, Mystery card. Can they just do a solid and have Urza Saga be the top of the Alpine Moon list? Yeah, that would be pretty good if it was just at the very top every time. Yeah, this is a pretty good matchup. I think we're about to be 7-0 on the day, which is with Red Black. Didn't do as well with the Sultai deck. But that's very good. Not a mathematician either, but 7-0, pretty good. I can keep a Tourach. Right, their top card is a Bauble. If I tried Emrakul and Resurgent Belief, I think it's like Emrakul is only good when you have Omniscience in play. You're kind of winning most games if you have Omniscience in play anyways. So I think it's not good. But my evaluation, that card is good when you draw when you have Omniscience in play, and is not good when you don't, huh? Start of another 21-4 streak, maybe. Best Urza Saga deck? That's probably Hammer. Jund Saga's good too. I like Bottle White Fiddlebender. Fiddlebender is pretty good, I think. Okay, this is not going to be good enough, I think. Yeah, I'll just use the Kolaghan Command. Kill this, kill this. What's that click-clack sound? My mouse, I guess. Oh, sorry, that's my it's my headphones case. I've been kind of like nervously like clicking it lately. Apologize for that. Alright, I saw my top cards terminate, pack it in. 7-0, let's go. Kill Lurrus and E on 2. Yeah, I mean, we just have like infinite options here. But for the most part, it's just hammer time, and sorcery speed artifact hate is not as good against hammer time because they'll kill you before you get to untap a lot of the time. Shots fired. Shots hit too, I think. Interesting, interesting. I think I'm gonna Thoughtseize. I only have one creature removal spell here, so the ability to like just take a second creature seems pretty important to me. Second Soulscar Mage. They have a Thoughtseize for my Bolt though. I should take the creature. Do anything other than MTG in Vegas? Yeah, Esther's coming with me, and so we're gonna, you know, get a bunch of tattoos and get married and get some strippers. It'll be a good time. Do some gambling. Figure it out. Do you need more cube this week? Probably not. I'm honestly like, the trophy race is like, it's coming up. I got a lot of free, in my free time I need to be like testing for the stream and then working on some other stuff too. I don't think I've got a ton of time for cube at the moment. I think I'm gonna Kroxa here. The Circle's Recall, viable sideboard card against hammer time. If you're Merfolk, basically no other deck wants it, I think. That's pretty good. Is it time to practice hammer to be able to grind through leagues? No. I'm gonna win the trophy race or lose it my way, which is gonna be way more fun than just grinding hammer. I'll do it my way. But yeah, I think just grinding hammer endlessly is not necessarily the best way to win the trophy race, and is also really freaking boring. Dare to wear the shark hat to the tournament? I don't know. I feel a little douchey. Be like peacocking at the Vegas tournament. I guess we'll just get their hand empty here. And if they want to seal the fire, the Tourach in response to the trigger, that's fine. Just get the 3 for 1. So Mike really does know like 3 songs total. Yeah. At least, like, you know, that's all I ever sing on stream. Yeah, Vegas is like 2 weeks from tomorrow. 2 weeks from Friday. And so it's like I got the trophy race starting. I got to prepare for Vegas. It's going to be a lot. Phil, thank you for the 9 months. Appreciate you, buddy. Do I still have the squid hat? It's missing. My friend Jalen, who did all the music for the channel, did that little diddly you're hearing right now. He came over the other day, and he was wearing the squid hat. And now the squid hat's missing. So, not pointing any fingers. But if I were, I'd be pointing them at Jalen. I don't actually think he walked off with it, but I think that he like left it somewhere, and I don't know where it is. But we're just like, the whole time we're just polite fighting over me, like, Jalen, I want to hire you to make some music for the stream. He's like, well, I'll do it for free. And I'm like, well, I would love to pay you because people love your music. And he's like, well, I'd love to do it for free because I want to support the stream, and it's just a pain. Things like that, TV. Which did we play against each other, TV, or just meet at the event? What is Chalice for? You play it on 0 against decks, against Rhinos and Living End. Alright, let's keep this. Why am I not listed as special guest on MTG Vegas website? I don't know. I sent in my like promo reel a little bit late, but I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to do something and I didn't do it. Not really worried about it. I mean, I'm not like a special guest in the sense that I'm not doing anything extra. We could maybe have kept the heat, but I think I'm kind of interested in trying to spike land or sorcery here for Delirium. This will be my first event since I kind of blew up. I went to the Hunter Burton earlier this year. I top 8'd that. That one was like not as big as Vegas. It was like 400 or 500 people. Taking 6. Yeah, I don't know if the special guests are people like they have at booths and stuff, because like I'm not like going as a special guest for Channel Fireball where I'm going to be like doing anything for them. I'm just going to be enjoying my first vacation in many moons. I think I just want to use the Spellbomb here. Where's the Hunter Burton held every year in DFW? It's in like Hearst. Yeah. Which I think is better, Reanimator or Green Tron? I think both are good. I would say between the two, I would recommend Reanimator. I've also, maybe I'm a little biased because I've just been playing that deck so much, but I've been doing really well with it. This deck, what if opponent plays Sanctifier? No extra against Spellbomb. We have Spellbomb and Explosives. We have 5 answers. You also have discard spells too. Yeah, I mean, we're currently like, we just beat a Sanctifier deck. It's really not that big a deal if you're prepared for it. Lure us into the hand. Okay. Down to 12. So I think we go Kroxa and then Unholy Heat, the Swift Spear. Don't have Delirium, so I'm going to Unholy Heat now. I keep losing a 3-animated store. I guess I just suck. I would recommend mulliganing aggressively, or more aggressively than you probably are. I would say that the easiest mistake to make with Reanimator is not mulliganing aggressively enough. Obviously, I'm not over your shoulder. You might be playing fine. You might be doing something else wrong. But I think if it's anything, it's probably that. Would I want to play a game on camera for the Mana Vault's YouTube channel? I'm not really familiar with the Mana Vault. I have been saying yes to a lot of collabs lately, and I'm a little burned out on them at the moment, to be honest. And I'm about to be very busy with the trophy race next week and then MTG Vegas. So I even had to like tell Shane, who I love to be on the Dive Down podcast. I really, I haven't been on the podcast in a while, but I had to tell him I had to do it after Vegas. I just don't have the time. But I usually do try to do anything anybody asks me to ever. Yeah, we're doing the trophy race again. It starts next week. They are playing discard spells. I'll just play this out. Is there a deck I made popular, helped make popular, that you didn't like playing against once it was popular? Not really. There are very few decks that I don't like playing against, I just kind of like playing Magic, and yeah, there aren't really very many decks that I dislike playing against. There are a couple. And my least favorite deck is Your Pet Deck. Your Pet Deck is my least favorite deck to play against. Who am I racing against? Everyone. So I'm going to commission a trophy, and whoever is the winner of the trophy race at the end of the season is going to get the trophy. And if they win without being aware of the stream at all, then we'll do something. But surely someone will know the trophy winner, and we'll get them the trophy. But I'm going to commission a trophy. I might do an additional prize as well. But I'm going to commission a real trophy, and whoever wins gets it. Including me. Maybe I'll win. I'm going to try. I haven't seen you play Sultai Breen. We played it this morning. It is fun. It felt like a little underpowered, though, unfortunately. You just don't understand the pet deck, of course, of course. Breach? I mean, this is like... Oh, wait, wait, hold... What? Why aren't they... Are they just going to bauble a bunch? I feel like they should have started with Manamorphose. I feel like they should have started with Manamorphose. Will I X1 drop from the start? I'm not sure. I think at the start I'm gonna O1 drop. I'm gonna 2-2 drop. In addition to 0-1 drop, 2-2 drop, 1-2 drop, but then play any other record. Wait, what? That's all they did? That's all they did? I guess they want to play Breach next turn with the Lurrus? But what if their Lurrus dies, you know? Discard Brutality. They can't really block here, so hopefully we find an answer to Lurrus with this. Because I do think we're dead to the Underworld Breach plus Bolt, right? What's the rationale of X1 dropping and 2-2 dropping? Bad EV for the trophy race. I mean, I'm not going to do it the whole time, but the rationale is I'm trying to end the season with the most trophies. I guess I'm not 100% committed. Oh, they should just dart the Ragavan, actually. Yeah, I think we'll see what happens if they like let me connect with this or not. I think they forgot about their dart. Canister MTG with the raid. Can I get some faithless looters in the chat? Yeah, I still have the details to hammer out, which is part of the reason why I'm a little busy. Best emote on Twitch. We're playing against a red-black prowess deck, and they just cast Underworld Breach last turn, and they got like very little value off of it, but next turn they can go like Breach, Bolt, which is kind of scary. But if I play Ragavan, they can go Breach, Bolt, attack, and I'm not quite dead on board, but probably dead. Then we have game 3 on the play. Hammer out. I really can't believe they cast Breach last turn with all of the stuff in the graveyard, and I think maybe they played one Bauble extra, but they were just like, okay, my Lurrus will untap. I don't need to do anything else. How is a Breach not tier? I do think Underworld Breach is a very powerful card. That being said, it usually ends up being really mana intensive, but it does look pretty good here. Like, maybe you could play like red-white prowess, or very similar to what my opponent's doing, just with one copy of Breach. Like, the first copy seems pretty good. Yeah, I saw the new Tidespell Tyrant. That card's pretty cool. I mean, not being able to bounce land is like... Yeah, not being able to bounce lands is kind of awkward, but being able to bounce spells is pretty cool. And, you know, in Standard, 7 mana Flash can't be countered. A 7/8 is not completely unreasonable as like a control finisher. It's also something... This also might be a good reanimator target. I don't know. Probably not, but maybe. Wilderness Wreck? Maybe I could see this maybe in Rack. Probably not, but you know, you never know. Anything else? Yeah, there's a lot of cards in the set that I'm like, maybe they could see play, but in reality, probably won't. Bride's Gown. It's honestly like, I like the art on this card a lot. I didn't realize how like metallic the dress looked. +2/+0 has plus additional +0/+2 at first strike, as long as an equipment named Groom's Finery is attached to a creature you control. Cool. Is my opponent doing anything yet? I guess not. Alright, 4 mana Werewolf, Ill-Tempered Hermit. Whenever it dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target. So it's a Boros Reckoner. with fire breathing, and then it transforms. Same ability, 4/4 fire breathing. Oh, whenever a permanent is dealt damage. That's pretty cool. Don't hate this card. Probably very good in standard. It's metallic because Olivia dresses sharp. Sea King, 6 months. Appreciate ya. Alright, they've decided to cast the Underworld Breach. This is Escape 3, right? Or is it Escape 5? Why is it only Escape 3? Breach is just such a weird card. Was legal in Legacy for way too long. Yeah, I saw the Hexproof Werewolf, the 6-mana one. That card seems like a nightmare in Limited. Like an absolute nightmare for Limited. It's only a rare, right? Yeah, this card, 6 mana, 4/4. At the beginning of combat in turn, put 2 counters on another creature you control. Hexproof. Transforms all other permanents you control have hexproof too. Oh, it's a mythic. Okay, okay. So that makes it a bit better. Opponent says, this game is trash. I feel like I should win, but there is no good play. This game is trash. I feel like I should win, but there is no good play. Please just cycle Manamorphose! I'm dead if you find the land, right? I don't know. Golly. Just take some game action. It's been like 5 minutes. This game trash. I feel like I should win, but there is no good play. Please. The last game last turn they could have drawn like 5 cards, and they just didn't. Oh man. Opponent, you can find, and also the game's not over either. You just like, this game is not over. Oh man. So close to a high Q. Oh man. This game trash. I feel like I should win, but there is no good play. Yeah. Can workshop it. This is also terrible because now I get to explosives, kill the mage, and then have to chump block with Lurrus. The stream is trash. I feel like I should sub, but there is no good content. That's so freaking good. That's so good. Who did that? Dog suit. I guess they can attack with Lurrus. Discard a spell. They also don't do that. Yeah, maybe there was a good play, opponent, and you just couldn't find it for some reason. Maybe there was a good play the whole time, huh? Fever, thank you for the 4 months. Appreciate you. Stream is trash, but I feel like I should sub. I feel like I should sub, but there is no good content. Yeah, didn't play the Bauble. How good to say this deck is? Like a tier? I mean, tier 2, I guess, but we're about to be 8-0 on the day. Although maybe we should have lost this game. Yeah, first strike so they can't gain 3. They're bolting? I just get to escape. Glad Nauseum, thank you for the get the sub, it's really nice of you. I just don't know why, like, they had, like, that first turn they played Underworld Breach, they could have drawn, like, 5 cards. And
what's up? It's me, your friend.
And then played Lurrus or something like that. And then played, like, Lurrus Bauble, 4 or 5 cards, Lurrus Bauble, pass. Snake Skins, thank you for Twitch Prime, appreciate you. Is my sanity okay? Hasn't been okay for a long time. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste my time saying anything about how they should have played differently. Yeah, I like the three Tourach, 3 Kroxa, 2 Voidwalker split today. It felt pretty strong. I don't have enough black to Inquisition, then Kroxa, so just Kroxa. It says GG unlucky. I'll head with the GG. GG unlucky. Takes the draw step. 3-0-6-0 this league. Probably should have lost that last game though. We are 8-0 in the day with red black. The next turn. Yeah, like you couldn't kill me with the bolt me outline. That's true, but you have lots of other good lines available to you. You also weren't supposed to. Bolt my Ragavan because I had the explosives. You were supposed to play a second 1-drop if you were trying to play to that line too. Alright, so we're playing against Yawgmoth, so I'm going to play the Voidwalker, which is the best card against Yawgmoth. I can just keep playing Super Free after XL3. Yeah, you get to draw like 5 cards though. Just because you don't literally win the game on the turn does not mean that you need to be salty. Does not mean that you need to feel like you got unlucky. You can draw like 5 cards and hopefully use that value to win the game. Just because you're not playing Breach and literally winning that turn doesn't mean that you don't have other lines. It's like you realize that the Bolt Me outline wasn't there and you just didn't think of like. It's like I think you just got too frustrated to like figure out what the best line was. Did you come across salty? Yeah, you came across super salty. you were super salty. You were absolutely indefensibly. Let's not pretend like you weren't super salty there. Come on, dude. Yeah, let's just move on. Like this is yeah, it's not good to dogpile like this. Let's be honest, you should have won. Let's move on, dude. Let's move on. You've said your piece. You said in chat that you should have won, but if you didn't find the right line, you shouldn't have won. You know what I mean? You have to play out the game and you have to win. But I don't know. Just move on. So what do I do here? I kind of feel like I should play Grist. I think I should bolt the Outland Liberator, play Grist, minus kill Wall of Roots. Yeah, thank you, mods. Alright, plays Messenger before playing Yawgmoth. And it's Yawgmoth mystery card. Oh, sorry, Yawgmoth Eldritch Evolution. Mill over Graven Cairns. Then we can Kroxa, make them discard the evolution. Gonna be kind of a hard game. So I think I need to plus Grist and then exile escape Kroxa. I think escaping Kroxa minusing killing Yawgmoth is just not gonna get there. I need to hope that the top of their library is not super kind to them, and their life total is lower than mine, so they're not gonna be able to win with just Messenger Yawgmoth. But we're definitely in a tricky spot. They go down to 9. Oh, they can also get Dryad Arbor here. Why didn't you kick Tourach instead of Kroxa? They kill the Tourach with the messenger with the trigger on the stack. Kroxa's way better here. This also deals them 3 damage. They have no cards in hand. If you're talking about the turn before, we didn't have 4 mana. Only had 3. They probably should have sacked the messenger first. I'm not sure. But usually I would want to go sack messenger, reset messenger with the next sacrifice. They played an Outland Liberator, so we've got a day token. I'm just going to block, I think. Yeah, they do play Cutthroat. They need to find it, though. They have no cards in their hand. -1 counter with the Hierarch. Yeah, again, I feel like what they should do is let the block happen, reset the messenger with Hierarch, then sack the messenger on the Kroxa. Oh, you thought the day token was a day. Yeah. It's just a day token. I've been playing Black Red Rock LGS for the last few weeks. Been running into problems against Burn, especially post-war with Firewalker Sanctifier. I think of running of brutalities. Well, I would bring in the Pyrite Spellbombs for the pro red creatures. I do usually find that matchup is pretty good, though. But yeah, brutality is a good sideboard card versus Burn, and if you're struggling, it's one of the best things you could be doing for sure. Yeah, so if I play, I guess I can go Inquisition. Or maybe I should have played Tourach before Inquisition. They just killed the response probably. But then I can play these two and then minus the Grist, and then they can kill both of my creatures in response, but then they've got no creatures in play at least. They also might not know how. Oh, I guess they don't know how this works. Would I rather have Ragavan or Tourach? Guess Ragavan. Kind of surprised they don't know how this works because it's their Grist, right? Yeah, I think at this point everybody in the chat is timed out. So much drama. They're gonna proliferate. Artifact of the Lost. Whenever Lantern of the Lost enters the battlefield, exile card from graveyard. Exile Lantern, exile all card from all graveyards, and draw a card. Very similar to Relic and Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. Well, I'm gonna cast the Tourach or the Kroxa again. Hope it's enough. I'm gonna play this deck off a struggle sequencing, discard through 1. I wrote an entire deep dive ATOS for channelfireball.com. It might not be released yet. Sometimes they wait a time to release them. I actually haven't checked if it's out. But I wrote a really long article on sequencing and Ragavan decks. If anybody's read it, I guess you could let me know if that it's been posted. But I wrote a huge, like 3,500 words on the topic pretty recently. Okay, so now I have to chump block the messenger. Okay, interesting. Oh, sorry, trade with the messenger. Yeah, not a chump block. Okay, we get to play a Tourach, and then we can fear the Tourach next turn. That being said, we are dead to a messenger, and that's just that. Yeah, I think my opponent could have won this game if they played a little bit tighter. They might still win this game, though, but they've made some sequencing mistakes, I think. I don't think they drew enough cards off Yawgmoth. They could have done me more damage to the messenger. Looks like they drew Stranglerootgeist. I think that they drew Stranglerootgeist and they realized if they cast it, they're dead on board to the Shizo. Yeah, I mean, there's not really, they can't really bluff, but we win. They just have to hope that I don't see this. Being a legend sucks sometimes. Well, it's winning us the game because it's a legend, so it does not suck this time. What do you think of Cemetery Gatekeeper, the red one? I like the card. I don't know exactly how much play in Modern it'll see, but I think it'll see some play. Yeah, opponent could have won. I don't think I would say that they should have won. I don't think I'd say that they should have won. My thoughts on Devoted Druid? I haven't felt like the combo's been very competitive for a while, and I think that's still the case, unfortunately. I have a really good friend who plays that deck religiously, though, and I can't convince him that it's not very well positioned, so you might find yourself in the same camp. I like more Ragavans on the play on the draw. I usually play 1 or 0. Let's play just 1 on the draw. How's your Yorion matchup? Blue-white Yorion is good. 4-color Yorion is bad. Yeah, we're currently 8-0 on the day with red-black. And up a game. Had some help from opponents, though. They want an Inquisition. They just have like so many Veil of Summers post board. They don't have enough black mana to cast Yawgmoth. I'll just take the Grist. Bring to Light, unfortunately, did not perform very well. Well, we're going to do the trophy race again next season. I do think I'll be playing Black-Red in it, but I mean, I never want the stream to just be me playing the same deck every single day. Wouldn't it be fun for me? Would be fun for some of you, maybe, but would not be fun for me. Alright, I think I just need to hope they didn't draw the Black Source. They did, we're in pretty bad shape. No, you can't play Saga in this deck with Kroxa and Tourach and Voidwalker, I think. Just don't think the mana works. You also like need to play like it's like playing Saga in your deck is a ton of slots. It really is a very card intensive card to play, of course. Could we play Sagas if we played more Urborg? Probably not, to be honest. We should block here because they can at any point trade Wolfer Channeler by sacking it, so just better to block to not take the point of damage. I don't know. Like, Saga is good. It's also like Saga is great in like the artifact-based decks, of course, though. It's of course clear that Saga is incredibly strong in artifact-based decks, but it is definitely true that when you're playing a deck like this or Jund, like Saga is at its weakest in Jund Saga. When you compare it to like any other deck that plays Saga, the card Urza Saga is at its weakest in Jund Saga because you just don't have the density of artifacts to make the tokens gigantic. Like the tokens are like 2/2s and 3/2s a lot of the times in Jund. Looping it with Ren and 6 is what gives it like the ability to be good, but it really is not the kind of card that you can play with no synergy. You really do need synergy to make Urza Saga worth including. Considering Saga over Sanctum and Greentron, you could maybe play one Saga over Sanctum and Greentron. It's probably going to be like very medium either way. Yeah, my opponent doesn't seem to know that they can reset the Undying creatures. Sorry, I forgot to hit them with the... Missed that they said this. So we know that they have Yawgmoth in their hand. They don't necessarily have double black yet. How do you play the deck and not know? I mean, people pick up decks and learn them, right? It's always a process. Always a process. So I have Delirium if I sack my fetch land. Luris. Is it resetting the Undying the whole point of the combo? Yeah, it is. But like it is of course like very easy for someone to pick up a deck and say, oh, this deck is cool. I would like to pick it up and learn it without them like finding a different resource. It's entirely possible to play a deck without firmly understanding it. That's how you learn. Slow Future, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Why do we wait on Terminate? Isn't that playing into Veil? Well, it's also like they have another Yawgmoth in their hand, so I wanted them to spend their mana playing another creature like the Wall of Roots that they played. Not that they had the double black, I guess, but I wanted them to spend their mana on a different creature rather than the Yawgmoth again. Yeah, Yawgmoth is definitely one of the hardest decks to learn, and I think every player goes through growing pains like this. But you really do get paid off for learning this deck over time. You know, it is way better to, like, in my opinion, go into a deck with the acceptance that you're going to make some mistakes along the way, than be afraid of playing a deck and making mistakes. How's Esperator? I like the deck a lot. Been doing well with it recently still. How good is Grief? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't know how to quantify it for you necessarily, but it's good. Can you remember when Spike would play Jeskai for like a week straight? I mean, that was like back when the Cleansing Wildfire deck was good. I love that deck. How well positioned do you think opponent's deck is? Very well positioned. If you're a master of Yawgmoth, you're having a really good time right now. Like you have to be really good with the deck though. It's a really hard deck to play, but you're eating well if you're a Yawgmoth master, I think. I think I have to heat this immediately. Just stinks that I know my opponent's last card is Yawgmoth. Yawgmoth has always felt weak to you. Why is it considered good? I don't have Magic Online, so I can't see it play often. Well, it's not weak. It's a very strong and consistent, powerful deck. My opponent has honestly showed their shown their inexperience with the deck, to be honest. But it's powerful, resilient, consistent, which are all characteristics of a strong deck. Go to game 3. I'm gonna go up to 3 Ragavans on the play, cut the Kolaghan's commands. Yeah, hopefully we find Voidwalker. Well, I'm gonna keep this hand on the play. Definitely needs help from the top though. Could maybe play Cliffs on turn 1, so if I drew Voidwalker, I can play it on 2, but it's also okay if I play Voidwalker on turn 3. Well, this is great for us. They don't have Yawgmoth. I would love for them to chump block. I remember when Ragavan like first came out, people were like straight up chumping Ragavan with a Noble Hierarch and a Noble Hierarch, which is almost never something you should do on turn 2. Alright, get to surveil that into the graveyard for some value. Yeah, Grafdigger's Cage is the best sideboard card against Yawgmoth if you're looking for a good sideboard card. Okay, I'm just going to put Lurrus in my hand here. Next turn, I can attack with both if I want to, and just play Lurrus, replay my 1-drop if I don't draw a land for Kroxa or Tourach. Obviously great for us that my opponent's missing lands too, of course. That's a really interesting one. Although if they block, which I think they probably will, it's, I guess, better to go Lurrus Ragavan than it is to First Strike, so I can actually just get the Lurrus down. Alright, now they get 2 mana. What if you're looking for a bad sideboard card? You probably have plenty of those in Esper Shadow, Panda. You probably have plenty of those in your Esper Shadow deck. Yeah, I saw the arguably better Soul Guide Lantern. Soul Guide Lantern is still better in Lurrus decks though, because you don't want to exile your own graveyard. But this new card is cool. I like it. Okay. Let's cast this. Fatal Summer would be pretty bad for us, though. Looks like they have it. You think this deck is well positioned? I'm 8-0 on the day. Hard to feel too bad when you're 8-0. Still a little too early to say, probably. I think I'll graveyard that, even if though it's a black source for Tourach. Okay, they don't have it. Their hand is Scavenging Ooze, Geist, Grist, Culling Ritual, which I cannot take. I feel like I'm the most scared of the Ooze here, actually. Oh, I have Delirium now. I didn't even realize that. Okay, so I'm going to attack with the team. Also play Kroxa from the graveyard. And then they'll probably put Wall of Roots here. Take 6. Are you leading us back to a 4-monkey, 4-bauble format? Maybe. Interesting decision to throw away the Young Wolf. Yeah, can't escape Kroxa, just can play it from Lurrus. Just gonna make them discard one of these cards. Probably will discard Stranglegeist. Discard Grist. Kind of surprised about that. Yeah, I agree that I feel like they can't really play Culling Ritual this turn if they draw land. Their hand is Geist, Ritual, Yawgmoth, Mystery card. They immediately make a mana with Wall of Roots. Yeah, this deck is very good versus blue-white control. It is probably your best matchup. Tourach just crushes that matchup. Right, tapped Black Source, just swinging with the team. Can't kick the Tourach here, not this turn. I can just cast it. That's pretty bad against the Culling Ritual, though. They discarded the second Geist. Yeah, I think that they're overvaluing this Culling Ritual. It is worse for them to cast it than it is for me. People are just memeing. Cardi, we had some funny drama. That's all in the past and nobody's talking about it anymore. So they drew Chord of Culling. They can Chord of Culling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 3. Bauble's a good draw. So they're drawing Wall of Roots. Let's see what I'm drawing. Another copy of Tourach. Let me just kick this. I guess I'm just assuming that they drew the Chord of Culling. They might not have. They might just not attack. The new 1 Black Sweeper will be good here. That's true, yeah. All right, Veil of Summer is good for them. The Shinka's been so good this game. Okay. Well, we are currently 9-0 on the day with red-black, which is pretty exciting. Let's get a trophy prediction for Trophy 14. Get your points in. What are the changes I said you made to add the third Tourach? I'm down to just 2 Voidwalker to play 4 Tourach, or sorry, 3 Tourach, 3 Kroxa. Keep this. Point reveal Lurrus. Do you think Kiki next arc would be good or playable in some kind of control deck? Probably not. There's probably a Swift Spear on top. I think I want to bolt the Swift Spear. They're probably playing Burn or you know, some kind of red aggressive deck with Monastery Swift Spear. Yeah, but I think I would like to have a standing desk, but I just I used to install computers on standing desks when I worked in IT, and it was always just a pain. They're just really heavy, and miserable. But I'm generally in favor, I suppose. Alright, let's graveyard that. They are burn. Gotta take this Searing Blaze, I guess. Their hand's pretty strong. I imagine they go Goblin Guide Swift Spear, and then I will upkeep Heat. I guess we'll see what we're drawing here. Voidwalker, okay. Definitely gonna upkeep Heat. Put that in the graveyard. Do you really need to draw a land, though? This is Delirium, at least. Feels a bit bad. So their hand is Rift Bolt, Boros Charm, Mystery card. Suspends Rift Bolt, puts me down to 13. Rift Bolts me down to 10. Boros Charm me down to 6. How many Den of the Bugbears is too many Den of the Bugbears? That's awesome. Corn chips. Yeah, they're always like the worst thing to install. Alright, so we're dead to 2 more burn spells. See if my opponent drew well or if they drew poorly. Well. Okay. Down a game. I'm going to cut the Thoughtseizes. I'm going to bring in Pyrite Spellbomb and Terminate. I think those are the only changes. I guess Voidwalker's kind of good, just if they ever Lightning Helix, this gets to be a Helix. Maybe that makes them better than Pyrite Spellbomb, but they could, of course, have access to... I guess Spellbomb is better than Terminate. Or at least somewhat better than Terminate, where this gives me an out to, like, pro-red creatures, pull-back creatures. And it's also just 2 mana kill a guy. Maybe I should be splitting Kolaghan's Command Terminate 2/2. Command can be kind of bad. Is Chalice on 1 any good against Bird? I have more 1-drops than my opponent does, so I'm not that interested in bringing it in. Yeah, life total successfully controlled. Graveyard that one. Skewer the critics on top. So I'm going to get a tapped Blood Crypt, Heat, Delirium, attack for 3, graveyard that. Yikes. I guess I'm going for Voidwalker here. Could be possibly better to go for Lurrus, though. Why not an upkeep? It's about why not... Oh, in my upkeep, cast the Heat? It's possible I draw something that makes me want to sequence differently. Suspends Rift Bolt. So I think I'm going to go Lurrus in hand this turn. Play this tapped. Pass. Usually in this matchup, the problem is not being able to deal with their creatures. Your deck is full of removal spells. Sometimes you just don't draw them, I guess. You have 4 cards in hand. Skewer me down to 6. Play another Eidolon. So they have 1 card left in their hand. So we have Skewer, access Skewer, Rift Bolt. If I attack with Den of the Bugbear, they block the token. They go to 1. So they have to block the they have to block the Den. And then they go to 3, and then they can't. Yeah, this is good because then they can't double burn spell to kill me. I'm dead to Boros Charm or Helix plus burn spell. But they can't cast 2 they need the Boros Charm or Helix plus burn spell. Otherwise they win. Very close game. Very good game. No, they already cast the Rift Bolt. That was last turn. Alright, game 3. Yeah, I think on the draw, I want the Terminates over the commands for sure. It's closer on the play. Couldn't we have just attacked with Voidwalker, put them to 4 and pass? I think attacking is better. I think it's about the same. Oh no, putting them to 4 is better with the I think double Eidolon, you're right. So turn 1 Ragavan is really good in this matchup. They've mulliganed to 6. Kind of wish the second Tourach or even eat these Tourachs or anything else, but I think I'm going to keep. Ragavan on turn 1 is really good. They just like have to deal with it. It's such a pain for them. They mull to 5. Kroxa is pretty good against them too. Why is Dauthi is good or better than Seize? I mean, Seize makes you lose 2 life in this matchup where all they care about is dealing damage to you. Thoughtseize is sometimes a card you have to leave in against burn, but is pretty bad against them. And Voidwalker, you know, they it's pretty good if they ever cast Helix, like they have to deal with it, and just 1-for-1ing burn anyway is pretty good. But Thoughtseize is kind of like 2-for-1ing yourself, you know. Okay, let's bubble ourselves. I think I don't want another bolt here because they didn't play a 1-mana creature. Is Brutality worth siding? I mean, if you have Brutality in your sideboard, obviously it's good against burn. But generally, I generally find this matchup to be favorable, so I'm not really that worried about it. Well, that's bad. Let's just cast this. I do have Pyrite Spellbomb in my deck as an answer to Sanctifier. How have the 3 Tourach felt? Tourach has felt really good today. Tourach has felt like the reason to be playing this deck. Kind of scared that they're attacking. Skewers me down to 11 life. I feel like they can probably cast their last card. We might be able to race. Boros Charms me down to 7, then they take 3, go down to 11. I attack for 4, put them to 7. And if I find a burn spell off the Ragavan, not one I can cast, unfortunately. We have them dead. We have them dead on the next attack. We're dead to not even dead to Boros Charm. Yeah, put him ult to 5. Check out Howling Moon. Okay, give me a second. So if they attack with both, they lose. Only attack with the guy, but we have Lightning Bolt on top, and we are the winners of this game. Oh, we can also fear the Ragavan for a little bit of extra damage. Yeah, they were dead with even out the bolt. All right, 5-0, 10-0 on the day. We were 10-0 on the day. 10-0 on the day with red black. Is this deck playable without Ragavan? You can play Dark Confidant over Ragavan, but the deck is worse without Ragavan for sure. And Dark Confidant is not exactly a budget card either, you know. Okay. Not anything in these chests really. But back-to-back trophies. Let's freaking go. It's pretty exciting. I feel like I do this a lot with this deck. Just get a bunch of trophies in a row. Hard to really understand why.
Ha ha ha!